Peace, everyone. Um, Back with another session on what the Quran says about Lot this time. And who was Lot? Lot, as we talked before, if you've heard the last few sessions, was with Abraham when he left his people and then came to the land which is called the Holy Land today and Jerusalem. And from there, he set up camp in what is today known as the Dead Sea. Whoever has any knowledge of the three books, the Torah, the Bible, or the Quran, know that what the Dead Sea is all about. I don't think I need to explain that in too much detail, but here's the map. Today's map as they stand. And if you go in, zoom in, there's Jerusalem up here and the holy city, and then right next to it is this big lake. They call it the Dead Sea. It's kind of a lake, and that's where the people of Lot used to live, not far away from where Abraham used to live in Jerusalem. And this all happened at the same time, right in sequence, right after Abraham and his people, and he left them after they tried to kill him, etc. So they then landed up in Jerusalem, and Lot was set up in this city. And we all know the story about, we don't all know, but the story is that his people were going against the commandments of God, doing things unnaturally. And God sent his punishment, turned the city upside down, and rained stones from sulfur on it while saving Lot before that happened, obviously. So let's go see what the Quran says about what happened at the time of Lot. So this is the first example of Lot. And Lot, behold, he said to his people, "Are you bringing the lewdness? Not overtook you with it from anyone from the knowing. Surely you, to your bringing the men desires from other than the women, but your people exceeding limits." And not was answer of his people, except that they said, "Take them out from your city. Surely they men, they purifying." So we saved him and his keepers, except his woman. She was from the covered. And we reigned over them rain. But look how was end of the sinners. So this is one example of what happened with Lot. We have more on this at chapter 11. And already came our messengers to Abraham with the information. They said, "Peace." He said, "Peace." But not tarried that came with a calf fatted. But when saw their hands not joined to it, weird of them, and sensed from them fear, they said, "Don't you fear. Surely we send to people of Lot." And his woman stood, but she smiling. So he informed her with Isaac, and from behind Isaac, Jacob. She said, "O woe do I bear, and I an old woman, and this my husband old? Surely this to be a thing wonderful." They said, "Are you wandering from command of God? Mercy of God and his blessings over you, keepers of the house. Surely he praised, majestic." But when went over Abraham the terror, and came to him the information, he disputed us in people of Lot. Surely Abraham to be forbearing, giver of sanctuary, turner. O Abraham, turn over this. Surely it has come, command of your Lord, and surely they will come to them punishment other than turn back. And when came our messengers to Lot, evil with them, and constricted with them a little, and he said, "This a day violent." And came to him his people, they running to him, and from before they doing the evils. He said, "O my people, these, my daughters, they pure to you, but fear God, and don't you humiliate me and my guests. Is not from you a man of right conduct?" They said, "Already you know, not to us in your daughters from truth, and surely you to your knowing what we want." He said, "If surely to me with you force or sanctuary to a group's wrong, They said, O Lot, surely we messengers of your Lord, not will they touch to you, but travel with your keepers with a peace from the night. And don't they back and forth from you anyone, except your woman. Surely it will come to her what comes to them. Surely promise them the morning. Is not the morning with closeness? But when came our command, we made her high side her low side, and we reigned over her stones from sulphur piled, shaped within your Lord, and not here from the wrongdoers with farness. So this is the second example. I think things are pretty clear what's going on here. I'll show you another example. So chapter 29. And Lot, behold, he said to his people, surely you, to your bringing the lewdness, not overtake you with it from anyone from the knowing. Or surely you, to your bringing the men, and your cutting the path, and your bringing in your calling the weirdness. But not was answer of his people, except that he said, bring to us with punishment of God, if you be from the truthful. He said, my Lord, help me over the people, the warring. And when brought our messengers Abraham with the information, they said, surely we will destroy keepers of this, the city. Surely her keepers, they are wrongdoers. He said, surely in her lot, they said, we know with those in her, to are surely saving him and his keepers, except his woman, she is from the covered. And when that brought our messengers Lot, evil with them and strict with them a little, and they said, don't you fear, and don't you grieve. Surely we will save you and your keepers, except your woman, she is from the covered. Surely we will send down over keepers of this the city, destruction from the heaven, with what they rebelling. And already we left from her a sign clear to people, they understanding. That's another example of Lot. And one last place I want to show you is so here has come to you story of guests of Abraham, the honored. Behold, they entered over him, but they said peace. He said peace, people weird. Freed to his keepers, but came with calves cured. But nearer to them, he said, will not you eat? But sensed from them fear, they said, don't you fear, and informed him with son knowledgeable. But faced his woman in smiles, but slapped her face, and she said, old woman barren? They said, like that says your Lord, surely he the wise, the knowledgeable. He said, so what you're addressing, you the messengers? They said, surely we send to people sinning, to our sending over them stones from sulphur, shaped within your Lord to the exceeders of limits. But we will take out any who is in her from the believers, but not we find in her other than a house from the Muslims. And we will leave in her a sign to those they fear the punishment, the grievous. So this is the third example. There are other examples in the Quran about a lot, but the overarching story is quite clear if you read these things in context. That the people of Lot were cutting the path God has said between man and woman, the relationship, and they were entering in a relationship with men, and thus women with women. And they were warned by Lot. They turned away. They taunted him. They wanted to exile him, take him out of the city. And in the end, God sent his messengers. These messengers, who are they? I mean, you've seen the story that came to Abraham, the messengers, the honored. Who are these guys? You wonder, who are these guys who are going to destroy them? you know so I mean, these obviously are angels of God. It doesn't say that in the Quran in straight in your face, but you have to understand the overall context. When the punishment of God comes, the angels usually descend and enact what God has commanded, and nothing can stop them. No being is capable of stopping the angels of God when they are sent to fulfill a command God has decided. That is how things work. It is not for man to decide that. And Abraham tried to stop punishment coming over the people of Lot, but God turned and told him, back off. The command of your Lord has come. You can't stop it. It's going to come to them. So, you can, even though Abraham is the friend of God, that doesn't mean anything. When God decides a command, nobody partners in his command. When God has decided this is what's going to happen, it happens. All these stories put together, you can see the picture of what happened. And this is the same thing written in the Torah and the Bible. You can go read it for yourself. Anybody who has knowledge of these books will know uh, this is the story that happened. And today, we glorify these actions on the earth. I mean, it's a proud thing to be that you're free of all laws and all edicts of God, and that is great to have. It's so stifling to follow the commandments of God because they're so hard on us. Yeah. I mean, God has created such an abomination, this earth and the life that He has created for us, and the books He sends completely stop us from having any sort of enjoyment in our lives, which is pretty much the farthest thing there is from the truth that can be. It is our delusions that make us think that way, and thus are the delusions of the people that are with the messengers of God. When the messengers of God come to them, they're completely deluded. They are asleep. Their souls are lost to Satan. They can't see the truth. It's like you can have a 1,000 lumens or 50,000 lumens light, the sun shining in their face, but they will not feel it because they're so deluded. And they will not see it because they're so deluded. And their hearts are covered, their souls are lost, their minds are deluding them, and they strive after the life of the world. That's what happens in every instance. And so did it in this instance where the people of Lot went against his command. He's telling them, take my daughters, they're better to you. It's like he's desperate that he knows what's going to happen. I mean, he's not unaware that the punishment is going to come to them eventually, and he's trying to help them out. Don't humiliate me. My guests are here. Don't do this stuff. Here's my daughters. Take them if you be doing. It's the same story. You will see this run throughout the examples that I'm showing you that are in the Quran, the seven major examples. The Lot example is the fifth of the seven. There are only two more to go, and I mean, it is clear that each of these examples end in the destruction or the loss of the people that stand against the messengers of God. There's one, there's four, there's two, there's three. It doesn't matter. God only needs one messenger to be standing and delivering his message, and everybody rejecting him, and then comes the destruction to those people. It's as simple as that. And everybody will say, no, no, this is all made up stories. Nothing of this sort has ever happened. Well, keep waiting. Your death will come or the punishment will come. Both things are certain. There is no escaping the fact that the punishment of God will come upon the mankind once before the end of the this existence, before the hour arrives. It will come and it will be devastating. That's the only thing I can say about it. The simplest thing I can say about it: absolute destruction. There's be calamity beyond understanding. We haven't seen calamity yet. Or our death will come. Both things are going to come. Which is going to come first for us? I don't know. I mean, I can't tell you. You go figure out for yourself. I can't tell you it's going to come tomorrow, or it's going to come in a week, or it's going to come in a year, or it will come in 100 years. But it will come. That I can guarantee you 100%. And just because we don't see it coming in our lives does not make it a fictitious imagination, like the imagination of space, which is completely fictitious. You guys believe that this space exists out there outside the earth, and we're spinning on a ball steaming through space on a roller coaster, which we have no understanding of, nor do we experience any of, but we believe it. As much as you believe that, what I'm saying is the truth, while that obviously is a lie, only to those who can see, obviously, that too. So, this is a fundamental story of Lot. And what are we doing today? Exactly what Lot told his people not to do. What the Bible tells people not to do, what the Torah tells people not to do, we're doing the same thing again. Of course, it's not the whole world doing it, but it's becoming apparent and more accepted, and people say it's fine. Yeah, I say it's fine, keep doing it, but don't tell me that I have to accept it and I have to honor it. No, I don't. It is detestable, and it will be detestable forever. I don't care. You can do whatever you want. I'm not going to stop you, but I'm going to tell you what it's actually is. It's an abomination. It's wickedness. It's evil. It's a wrongdoing. It's a rebellion against God. So you want to do it, keep doing it. I mean, it's way before that. People are already going to hell by rejecting his books. So these actions of having man with man relationship, a woman with woman, it doesn't matter, because you're already going to hell when you've rejected God's books and rejected God. So these actions are, just icing on the cake for your absolute destitution of soul, of understanding of what reality is and where it's taking you. That's I think that's all I got to say about Lot. There's lots more in the book if you want to go read it. If you don't, it's fine. I'm not here to tell you that you must read it, but I'm telling you, you should read it for yourselves. The truth is in the book of God. The truth is in the books of God. And this Quran has all of this encapsulated without any kind of alteration or any kind of modification. It's all there. If you know the Arabic, you will know what I'm saying is the truth. That's exactly what's written in the Quran. And the translation here is almost as close to the Arabic as the text can possibly give itself to. So, read what you want, don't. If you don't, I don't really care. I'm here to deliver this message as best as I can, and whoever it reaches, they can take it and do with it what they want. I'm not here to make people believe. I'm here to believe for myself, and I believe. I absolutely believe what I say. I have absolutely no doubt in what I say. And I will stand on that till I die. If someone can prove otherwise from the Quran or the Bible or the Torah, which aligns with the Quran, don't bring me the stuff you've added to the Bible. Don't bring me the stuff you've modified in the Torah. The stuff that runs through the three books, all three saying the same thing, I absolutely believe. And in the Quran, I believe completely. So that's where I stand. So that's about it for today. I believe I will see you next time if wishes the Lord. Peace.